Fala pessoal, beleza? Acabei de fazer uma entrevista com o Matt do Punk Rock. Quem não conhece o Matt, ele é um dono de um canil que corre lá na HOVE. A entrevista foi bem legal, ele falou praticamente tudo sobre como funciona o canil, sobre como que ele chegou a trabalhar com os galgos, por quê, o que que ele faz hoje, como que funciona a alimentação. Ele fala sobre também como que os galgos são criados, alimentados, treinados. Fala também sobre assuntos espinhosos, sobre questão de proibição, sobre maus tratos. Cara, foi uma entrevista bem legal, bem tranquilo. O Matt é um cara sensacional, muito gente fina. E espero que vocês gostem. O inglês do Milton aqui tá bem arranhado, mas o que vale é entrevista, é informação. E vamos lá, até mais.
Well, I've been to Hastings and I've been to Brighton. I've been to Eastbourne too. So what? So what? And I've been here and I've been there. And I've been fucking everywhere.
I saw them up at Brixton in 1982. We're hooked ever since that day.
They're fucking good because they piss people off, and that's what it's about. And the Anti-Oil League are the best at pissing people off.
So what? So what? So what? So what? You boring little cunt.
Been a league fan since the early days, 81. It's that fuck off attitude I loved.
Well, who cares? Who cares what you do? Yeah, who cares? Who cares about you?
They're local heroes.
They're the Anti-Oil League for a fucking reason. We hate every cunt.
Well, I fucked the Queen. I fucked Bach. I've even sucked an old man's cock.
So fucking what?
Hi Matt, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
For those who don't know Matt, he owns the wonderful Greyhounds at the punk rock Kennel, and he gave us a piece of his time to help us better understand the day-to-day life of someone who is inside the Greyhound racing market. Thank you, Matt.
That's okay. You're most welcome.
Please tell us a little about yourself.
Okay. First of all, I own a business in central London. That is my primary money earner. That's what I do for a living. I have a tool rental business. You know, we hire out tools to the construction industry. However, over the past few years, my interest in greyhounds grew, or my kennel grew, and now it takes over more and more of my life. I work at the kennels and I am an owner. I have a trainer, Stuart Mapleson, who you will see in future videos that we're going to do. So Stuart is the boss. I help out. I have a license. I travel with the dogs when we go around different tracks, and I will put the dogs in the traps. I do work around the kennels. My wife does work around the kennels. She's a fully licensed kennel hand as well. So we're registered owners. Well, we're owners and we're registered kennel hands. I currently have 27 dogs in my kennel, although Stuart, the trainer, has about 60 in total. I have 8 pups due over in the next 6 to 8 weeks. Well, obviously you know about one that we've got coming over. He should be over in a couple of 2 or 3 weeks. And then we've got 7 puppies that we bought as a litter, myself and Stuart, the trainer. The agreement is we own half each, but we've both got an interest in all of the dogs. We didn't want to split up the dogs, so we said, okay, we'll have half each. The only deal that I said is that they've all got a bull punk rock. So there's 7 more punk rocks. Obviously, it builds my kennel up and is good for the punk rock kennel. The punk rock thing came about. Obviously, I've got an interest in punk rock. Yeah, that's obvious. I'm an old man now. I'm 55 years old, but I still go to the concerts. I still jump up and down. and I still think that I'm 21 years old, which I'm not. However, we went to a particular concert. At the end, I went on the website and it said, email the lead singer. I thought, yeah, right. Like he's going to answer. He did. I couldn't believe it. I'm speaking to my hero from when I was 15 years old, and I'm now speaking to him. Cut a long story short, we got chatting through email. He then said that he'd like to come down to the track and see the dogs race, which was brilliant. So I was meeting my hero and he was looking at the dogs. And we started, I just started using the prefix punk rock, which I own. So no one else can start their dogs with punk rock in the UK. It's my prefix. We named the dog after him, which was Punk Rock Animal. And it's just grown from there. I was using song titles as well. Any particular punk songs that I liked, I was using, I could get away with. The more rebellious, the better. So, there's a few which I'll have to try and explain. But anyway, so that's what we do. But we've also been introduced to people in the north of Ireland now that will rear pups for us. And we've got a litter we've just bred. Of a litter of 6 that's going up to the north of Ireland, and they stay up with them and will come to us at about 16 months, fully schooled and ready to go on the track. So I've moved on a lot. In the old days, I just buy 1 or 2 dogs, and obviously things have moved on. I had certain things that inspired me into racing to get to do more. And again, that's something we should touch on another time. I noticed you were asking about the feeding. Well, I think that's something that we could do a video on. I can go down on a Sunday and show you what they're feeding. But they feed them a soaked biscuit, raw meat, vegetables, and they all have vitamin supplements. Some have varying vitamin supplements to others. And I can give you some good examples of these. Punk Rock Rampage and Punk Rock Hippie, both rising dogs, and both need to have a seaweed supplement, which helps them maintain their weight level. They're both big dogs, and they need to have this seaweed supplement, which helps them maintain their weight. But that's only something that you...
The dogs eat better than me. I don't eat vegetables every day.
No, me neither. And obviously, as owners, once a week we're allowed down, and we're allowed to supplement them and give them all the treats that we can. We give them pasta with chicken and sausages and that type of stuff, just really to give it on fish. I mean, they all get fish oil supplements anyway, but they all seem to like tin fish mixed in with their food.
And how do you know that specified Greyhound have to have a supplement more than others?
Well, sometimes the breeder will give you particularly with Hippie, he said to us, Matt, make sure you're giving this dog the seaweed supplement. So he's already, if you like, given us advice in advance. But really, that's where the expertise of the trainer will come into it, because when you get the dog over, you don't know anything about them.
Okay.
We're putting these dogs on the track for the very first time. A lot of my dogs, and again, I'll use this as an example. The dogs are not schooled. They're schooled to chase, and they will chase a lure up, but they've never been on a track when I get them, which is a real pain in the arse for us. But that's the deal that you have when you buy the dogs.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get a really good one, and sometimes you get dogs that are slow. But I mean, I can give you plenty of examples. Rampage, when we first got him over, he didn't know what to do. He was absolutely hopeless. But once he got the hang of it, we had to be patient. He had to have 6 or 8 trials, but we eventually got him graded on, and he actually picked up, and he's gone very well. If I'm honest, 500 meters isn't really his distance. He probably needs 450 meters. We have tried him away at a different track recently, but some dogs run tracks better than others, and I don't think that. Again, the only way you know is by letting the dog.
It's by testing them, né?
And by testing. Obviously, they all trial, so he did a reasonable trial. And to be fair, when he ran in the race, he actually found a couple of lengths, but it wasn't enough. He needed to find 6 or 8 lengths, and he would at home he would probably find that. But obviously, he's got to run the different tracks. But we can try him at other tracks, so that's not really a problem. You just got to be patient, and you just have to keep on running at HOVE in the meantime, you know.
And how this works with the other tracks? You are registered in HOVE, yeah?
We are registered at HOVE, but what they have is what they call, and I'm sure you're aware, open races.
Okay, so you just can send your dogs if it is an open race. You cannot send Caramello for a grade A on the Crayfoot,
no,
for example.
No. Open racing is for the better class dogs.
Okay.
And Caramello is knocking on the door of being I mean, I cannot stress to you enough, that time that he did on Saturday night is a top time. There won't be many dogs that go quicker than that.
It was a great run. It was unbelievable.
The problem with Caramello is he doesn't come out the boxes quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say, I think he had a bit of luck where I think the 2-job dog stumbled or something. And of course, then it opened up. He had a nice big clear run, and he can just use his power because he's obviously very quick. He just opens up and he's gone. But he is, I have got faith. And the other thing is, he's actually, although he's just over 2 years old, once they've run for 6 months and they've built up their strength and it's more constant, you know, he might well stay the 400 meters. The opinion is at the moment that he doesn't quite stay the 400 meters. I mean, obviously he can run the 400 meters, but to actually run full speed, he's not doing it.
He's just a puppy yet, so
yeah, they're just patient. But he's a good puppy. We've got time, you know, and to do that time that he's done, that's good. And as I said to you, Seamus Carhill is a very respected trainer in the UK. Came up to me and he said, "Matt, you've got a good dog there," you know, and that's high.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's very cool.
I mean, I take that all day long, you know. That's good enough.
We here in Brazil are very crazy about Caramello. Every time he runs, my Instagram is pumping up of messages and my WhatsApp. The people are crazy for him.
No, that's good. And I sent you the card. He's out on Thursday. I mean,
some people doesn't even look the card. So they just bet. It's Caramello. Let's bet. Okay.
See, that's not good. That's not good, really.
No, it's not the great option. But sometimes just bet for fun. Yep.
Yeah.
It's not a crime to do that.
No, I mean, look, when Muttley was in the golden jacket, I only had £1 on him, and that was I didn't think he'd win. I was happy. I was so happy he was in the final. That was it. It was good enough.
That was a big odd, right?
Yeah.
Well, what was the odd on the final for him?
What was the odds? Oh, well, in the morning you could have got 50 to 1.
Wow.
I think I got 33 to 1.
Wow. Great.
I did get a check for 20,000, so it was all right.
Oh yeah, of course. That was a great price too.
Yeah. But it wasn't about the money. It was about winning.
Oh yeah. But the money also good, right?
Yeah. The money's good, but the winning
makes the incitement of the market.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a question about betting as a owner. this is allowed to GBGB, the owner's bet on his own dogs.
I bet on my own dogs. I bet against my dogs. I actually, I like to bet with money. So I like to go to the track.
Oh,
there's a bookmaker at the track. Then I can go £100, 3-1. Thank you. And he give me, and then we've got that's the deal. And then when I win, he gives me back, and I've got money because I like to have cash. Old school.
I imagine the bookmaker looking for you. What are you betting on?
Well, that's exactly right, because I went down there last week, and he said, "Hello, Matt." Sometimes I'll bet £5, £5, 100. Oh, right, that's the one. And then
that's the one. Let's put the odds lower.
Well, no, actually, what he does, they use it as a mark, and you go, okay, the owner, because he knows me. I bet all the time with him.
Yeah,
he knows if I'm betting 10 or 20, then that's a nothing bet. That's a free bet. Yeah, he doesn't really fancy it. He's just backed it. If I start having 50 or 100 or 200 or 1,000, which I've had in the past, he will take the bet and they use it as a mark. And you know, they know then, don't they?
Yeah.
And they're only laying the bet off on odds, Betfair. It's just that I don't like to use Betfair. I like to use money in my hand. If I lose, well, I've lost my money. If I get it back, then I've got cash. And you have to pay for all the dogs in cash. And
I wonder.
Yeah. So, but no, we can bet on anything. Obviously, corrals make the card up. You know, I don't have any say with. My dogs are put forward. They're allowed to race in any race at the HOVE. And then the racing office make up the race, and that's it. So there's no interference from me. So I'm free to bet on it. To be fair to corals, if I do want to have a big bet and I can't get to the bookmaker at the track, they will take a £500 bet without any problem from me, and I get a fair price usually.
You go to the I don't know how you call that. Yeah, you have a shop, a coral shop. Yeah, and you can bet over there.
What they've done, corals, they've given me an account where I can go and pay money into my account, and when I win, I can get the money back in cash. But I then have the freedom of betting online, so I can go. If I want to have a bet this weekend, I can go and put £100 in my account. If at the shop, then I can bet online on my phone all day.
The account is in your name, and they not limit the amount you can bet.
No,
like bet 365.
Bet 365 closed my account. Sky Bet closed my account. But you would have thought that corals. My dogs run at a corals track. They know.
Yeah. Now I understand.
I'm guessing. I'm guessing.
It's not good for them to do that. They will a bad market.
No, and I'm not the biggest gambler.
Yeah.
You know, that's the truth of the matter. It's about winning, not necessarily I love a bet. That was why I did all this in the first place, because I like betting.
Yeah.
You know, but now it's about winning more than betting. I'm just as happy if I've got winners, particularly if the dogs weren't fancied. You know, Murdoch the last week 8-1. That's lovely. You know.
Okay, I don't know if you want to answer this, but you make more money with the dogs or with the another company that you have?
Oh, with my other company.
Oh, the other company.
Yeah. This is just a hobby.
Just for love for the dogs.
Just for that. This cost me money.
I imagine.
Fame and fortune. Yeah, I get a bit of fame. It's my little 5 minutes of fame. It's good fun. What else am I going to do with my money? Leave it all to my children? No.
I understand. Pretty understand that.
Hard. They can have some of the money, but I work hard. I'm going to enjoy my money.
Yeah, for sure. It's your money. You have to spend it when you want it, what you want it.
What else do you do with it? Put it in the bank? Well, you're not enjoying it, are you? What am I going to do? Put it in the bank until I'm 75 and can't walk? And no. Enjoy it while I'm reasonably young, and I can enjoy the moment, and I am, and it's good. And I want people to enjoy the moment. You're going to enjoy the moment.
Yeah, for sure. We're here for that. I believe we just have one run here on Earth, so I have to enjoy the best of it.
Yeah. But when you see him win the trophy and you get the trophy, I'm going to send you the Caramello trophy.
Oh.
He picked up a sprinter of the quarter. He picked up.
Next year I will be there to take my trophy.
When you come over, I told you can stay and we do the kennels and the full bit. You get actively involved.
And if all goes okay, I have another trophy with Purple.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You can have all that. I told you that.
Let's talk about spicy subject. There in United States, they ban a lot of racetracks in the state of Florida. They make a law forbidding the race there. Do you think that something similar could happen in England?
Well, I can't say that it won't happen. However, England is not quite the same as America. And dog racing, I'll talk about dog racing, but a lot of the racing industry has improved its welfare and its image. As you probably know, with every dog that is registered to race in England or in the UK, we now have to pay a bond. I pay, as you know, £200. The GBGB pay £200, and that forms a bond for that dog's retirement.
Okay.
So now every dog that races in England is guaranteed a home through the GBGB. However, I say, no, that's not good enough for me. I want to rehome my own dogs. Obviously, when I had less dogs, it was a lot easier. Now, with having so many, I needed to work in partnership with someone, which is why I got involved with the Canadian people.
Okay.
But the other thing that I liked about that was they were doing it more thoroughly than I was. I tried my best, but I had a couple of near disasters. The lady that rehomes suits the dog to the family. She really does a good job. I can't stress. And again, as I said to you, you can follow the dogs, not just on my pages and my group, but they've also got a group where the dogs are now doing meet and greets and all of that, and really actively getting involved. So that is good for racing. And I will also say, I mean, rehoming and what happens to greyhounds has got a bad press in the UK. But I've been in racing since 2008, and I've never, ever seen anything bad going on. I've never heard of anything bad going on. I've heard the stories but I'm not close to hand. Everything that I've ever seen through all the owners is they always want the best for their dogs. I mean, I wanted to say something else about this that I noticed in one of your questions, which is welfare.
It's free.
Yeah, you get me going now. So
let's go. You know, I'm here for that, Matt. I'm here for that.
Good. I mean, what people say to me, oh, you've got racing dogs, you don't look after them, you do this. Whoa. Hold on a sec. Now let's think about this seriously. First of all, I pay £2,500 per greyhound minimum to get them over and to get them registered and to get them racing. Am I really going to mistreat that dog or that animal after spending all that money? that if I was paying a kennel bill, that would be costing me £250 a month to have that dog in kennels. Would I be maltreating that dog?
It's a crazy thought.
Come on. Now, again, I try to post lots of videos of us on Sundays. This is us with our dogs. We're owners. Look, we're cuddling our dogs. My wife takes every dog for a walk on Sunday, all 28 of them. She takes for a walk. Yeah, I won't do it, but she does. She does all 28. She feeds them all, and we do it, and we clean them out. But we're just like every other owner. If you come, when you come down our kennels, you will see there's 5 racing kennels all together, and all the owners go on Sundays, walk and feed and treat and love their dogs. And I'm sure that's the same. And in fact, I know it's the same throughout the length and breadth of the UK.
I believe that. I believe that.
Yes, I'm sure bad things went on in the past. I've heard lots of bad stories, but that was 40, 50, 60 years ago and before. Certainly in my time, I've never heard of anything, and I'd be horrified if I did. And I think that there's things in place now that prevent that. Do dogs get injured on the track? Yes, they do. Do dogs die on the track? Unfortunately, from time to time, yes, they do. But those same dogs, I've had greyhounds at home that have been injured running around in the fields, breaking legs, splitting their chests open, running into barbed wire, all of the horror stories.
Yeah.
You get this, you know, I've had my greyhounds attacked by other dogs and ripped apart. You know, it's part of life. But greyhounds are not mistreated, in my opinion, in kennels.
I'm sure that.
Certainly not from what I've seen, and certainly not around my greyhounds, but not from what I've seen in any kennels that I've been around, and I've seen plenty now.
And the accident happens, so it will happen with pets.
Yeah.
Why not the greyhound racing that it's, I don't know, 70 kilometers per hour. So
yeah, and don't forget that is what a greyhound is bred to do.
Yeah,
a greyhound is bred to hunt and to chase.
Yeah,
and they are doing. I take my retired greyhounds to the track, and they will still get excited. You know, and that's the truth.
I saw a lot of the videos like that.
Yeah, hear the bell and all the rest of it. So that's what a greyhound is bred to do, and you either accept that or you don't. So,
what do you think about the future, Caramelo's future?
I would say to you, wait and see what happens over the next 3 months. See if he can progress. I tell you what I look for. I tell you what defines a good sprinter at HOVE. 1650.
Okay.
If you can do less than 1650 constantly, you will win regularly. Now, whether or not Caramello can be a good open race dog, he would if he could learn to break, he would be top class open race dog. But sprint, you know, 260 to 300, something like that. He'd be top notch. But he needs to find the 2 lengths coming out the boxes.
Yeah,
that's what's holding him back at the moment.
Yeah. The trainer have a way to improve that, the break of a dog, or not?
No.
Just hope.
You can't go like Pela. What I want you to do is like, go.
It's like talking. No, they force the greyhound to run. How do you do that? How do you make a dog running after some kind of animal? That's not logical.
But I had a dog called Punk and Disorderly, and he was a top class sprinter, but he was last every time, and he'd be last lost by 6 lengths and still win by 6 lengths. So that's just Rampage. When he started, he was the slowest dog out the boxes I've ever had, ever. And yet now he's one of the most consistent, good sprint breakers out the boxes. My dog's got in a punk rock movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
When did it come out?
It came out about 2 years ago. If you go on YouTube,
Okay.
put in Anti-Nowhere League movie, the trailer will come up and you'll see me and the dogs in the trailer.
Wow, that's so cool.
And that was the man that I got to know from going to the gig, and then he became a friend and got me in the movie. And
Wow,
when
great.
you see all the jumping around. There's me and my boy in the mosh pit and all that, doing all that. But he
Great.
sat down and they interviewed us with the dogs, which he was into. So
Just a few questions, if you don't mind. How did you train the greyhounds? How did you put them to
Okay.
train?
Okay, the dogs are schooled at from 12 months. So for 12 months, all they do is run around in the field. They give them things to tear up and they run up and down, and all they're doing is building their bodies and building the strength. At 12 months, they start taking them up the drag, which the one that we're using in Northern Ireland is about 300 meters hill.
Okay.
Obviously, they've been doing that the whole time anyway. And then slowly they will start introducing them to a track. The most important thing for the dog to do is to learn to run a bend. They can run in a straight line. But
Yeah.
when they've got to start going around the bend, that's the bit that they have to master.
Yeah.
I usually reckon it takes 6 to 10 runs for a dog to. There's an expression in England for the penny to drop. And you can see all of a sudden the dog go, oh, I've got the hang of this. I know what to do now. And that's the expression we say, oh, the penny's dropped. And,
Cool.
oh, right, it's registered, it's gone in. However, the dogs now that we're trying this new gentleman, and he reckons that he schools them properly on what is known as a flapping track. So that is an unofficial track in Ireland. It's still they're not doing anything illegal, but it's not run by whoever it is. It's
the same format that a track.
Yeah, it's a proper track.
Okay.
But it won't be a big, basically anyone can go and put their dogs around it. They have, unofficial. Well, they have official races, but that's where
Nice.
When you're in Ireland, I can put you in touch with a flapping track, and you can go and experience
Oh, okay.
it.
Thank you.
Just grassroots greyhound racing, really.
What city stays that track?
Sorry.
In what city the track is?
Oh, they've in Ireland. They've probably got a dozen of them anywhere around the country.
Okay.
The one we were talking about is in Londonderry, in the north of Ireland.
Okay.
But the idea is to give the dogs a chance to get properly on the hare or on the lure, and obviously to learn to run around a circuit and run a bend. But they then come to us unraced and ready to go. Basically, they will be in boxes. They're schooled to come out the boxes, and then. But you'll see in about they'll be over. I think they're over mid-November. There's 7 of them. And you follow them and see how they do. It'll be interesting to see.
Okay.
So,
when are you coming to visit us in Brazil? I know that you like to fish, and we have a great place here to do that.
well, I'll tell you what. I might well take you up on that because I do world travel, and I would like to come to Brazil one day. I mean, look, as soon as you can come over, I'll put you up. You and your friend, we go down. We can do. You can walk every dog. You can do the full bit.
Okay.
Do the track. You can have 2 or 3 days at it. and you can have a really good time. So as soon as
Next
you wanna
summer,
come over,
I will be there for sure.
good man. Yeah,
For sure.
look forward to it.
But I have to go in the summer because I hate winter and cold.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm off to Thailand next month for 3 weeks. So
Wow, that's cool.
yeah, fishing and one thing and another. No, I don't blame you for that. And yeah, look forward to having you next year. That'd be good.
Okay, thank you, Matt, for your time.
If you
Nice
need
to
any
speak
more,
to you.
if you need any more, please let me know. It's not a problem. I will also try to do you some videos of the feeding and how he feeds at the kennels.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
And obviously, any video clips I send you, you're welcome to use.
Okay, I use for sure.
Yeah. You do what you've got to do. It's anything I send you, you can use. Anything on the pages, you can use.
Thank you.
Do you want me to keep sending you copies of the races, Caramello and Purple races, every race?
Yeah, sure.
Right. Well, I'll send
Thank
it
you.
all. That's not a problem.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bud.
We were talking, man. Thank you so much.
Yourself.
Bye.
Be good. See ya.